as you would know, I didn't come from a family of business owners, so it's everything that I've done was trial and error. I've been to some real lows and I've been to some real good parts of my business.
Hi, welcome to Coffee with Confio. I'm William Freitas and today's theme is managing cash flow. Today's also World Plumbing Day, so we thought we'd get out one of our favourite plumbers on the show, Angelo Defrancesco from Chesco Plumbing. Angelo, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, excited to be here.
It's great to have you here. And we'll start with, tell us a little bit about your business, what you do, and more importantly, why you do it.
So basically we're a Sydney-wide plumbing company, looking after all things plumbing, but focusing on maintenance and focusing around the inner west and eastern suburbs. So we do service all of Sydney. The why, we'd like to help people get through their days and avert crisis as such. I remember my first day of plumbing school in TAFE, they said there's 3 words as to why we need plumbers in the world, and that was to protect public health.
Yeah, right.
And that stayed with us. So that's the only thing that really differentiates us between us and like a first world country and a third world country is having running water and running sewer. So that's something as to why we do it, and we just all around like to help people, as well as having a good, keeping as a good business,
Perfect.
So
yeah, I think the Master Plumbers Association of Queensland, they released a video recently just about World Plumbing Day.
Sure.
And how important it is to have plumbers. And I'll be honest, I didn't even notice how important it was to have plumbers.
a lot of people don't. Yeah, a lot of people don't.
Really make sure that we've got clean water and the sanitation that we need. So we need plumbers. Can you believe it? So today's theme is managing cash flow.
Sure.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about that. Obviously, you're in the construction industry, which is quite challenging in terms of a high number of transactions where you've got a lot of client payments coming in, but you've also got to manage a lot of supplier payments for materials and so on. So how do you manage cash flow in your business?
So, well, the challenges that we have in plumbing is, if you ask any tradesman in the world, that's what's your biggest challenge, and they all say it's cash flow.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of people expect that we have longer payment terms, but we do have to commit a lot of time on road costs, as your insurance, your petrol, your tolls, your upkeep of your cars, your wages, all those kind of fixed costs that come in every day that we have to pay for in advance. So we have to also try and manage our funds so that can keep going. So just a lot of people do like your builders, just because they do have their own cash flow issues, so they pass on their terms to the trade. So it kind of comes down the line. Look, I mean, there's a lot of challenges. Thankfully, the material bills are 30 days. A lot of people do pay you into 30 days. So it's just pretty much managing the cash flow to keep a little bit in the bank, just to keep you rolling at all times.
And obviously, it's a challenge, like you said, across all trades.
Sure.
We see it across plumbers, electricians, carpenters.
Absolutely.
Clearly, at some stage, you've got money owing to you, and
Absolutely.
You've got money
Always.
that you owe out to your suppliers.
Sure.
What are some elements that you throw into your business to make sure that you can better manage that?
With maintenance as such, we like to have, we thought there was a really good tool to have is a merchant facility in the car.
Okay.
Just because your one-offs and your house calls and all the rest of it, if they want to pay on the spot, you can have that little bit of an extra facility where they can pay on the spot, and their money will hit your bank the next day, rather than sending them the invoice. And a lot of people in the busy world, a lot of people forget to pay things. Unfortunately, you're the one that has to deal with it. So you may have 7-day payment terms, but they may forget. And then you have to constantly ring them up, and you're having the admin costs just to keep on top of your payments and all that kind of stuff. So we do that. We've tightened up our payment terms rather than we want to ask for support while we're supporting our clients as well. So it's a give and take sort of situation, and we just try and keep that rolling as the way it is.
And how do you find with your maintenance clients, for example, are they a lot more receptive to paying on the spot with your terminal? Are people accepting to that?
A lot of people, a lot of people are, but sometimes a lot of trades they do get that sense of shyness or embarrassment to ask for money on the spot. But a lot of people prefer it. because then they can pay it on the spot and then they just forget about it. A lot of people like to get their bills out of the way straight away. Some people may ask for, just for a little bit of leeway because, it may be a large cost that they weren't expecting. But a lot of people are happy with it, yes.
So. And there's a variety of industries where you pay up front, right?
Sure, absolutely.
You're not expected to do something and then pay in 30 days. So
no, that's right. Like I tell all my clients, I say, well, not even some of my clients, but my employees, to say, well, if you pay for a haircut, you pay straight after the haircut. We're the kind of the same. We're outgoing the same. We've got the same outgoings rather.
Yeah.
And it's just like we just try and ask for support for the people that we try and support.
Yeah, exactly. And you touched on a great point. I was chatting to a carpenter client actually the other day, and he was saying he underestimated how much work or admin work behind the scenes you would need to put in, especially from a cash flow perspective to chase up money.
Absolutely.
How have you found that, coming out of, obviously you graduated, you did your apprenticeship, you set up your own business, and then you had to confront emailing and calling, and how'd you manage that?
It's a bit of a cultural change, because you go from your apprenticeship and where you're a journeyman as such, and you just become a tradesman where you just go to work, you pull out your tools, you do your 8 hours, and then you leave. There is so much more to business than that, and you have to allocate your time correctly, because if you don't and you fall behind, your business during that 8 hours where you're earning your money suffers. So you're quoting, you're invoicing. The longer you take to invoice at night, the longer you take to get paid.
Yeah.
So if you let that slip for 3 days or 4 days, then that's 3 or 4 days later that you potentially won't have that money. Then you've got to factor in the people that are going to pay a little bit later, and then it's a roll on. So you have to keep on top of your computer work as such, and really stay on top of it.
And look, we see a lot of trades get caught out there, so I think that's vital to either improve your own ability to be able to follow that up, or even outsource that. Get a virtual assistant or something to follow up those clients to make sure you're getting that cash regularly. I want to chat to you about something slightly different in terms of customer segmentation. What does that mean? Do you find different customers pay better at all, or do you find they're all broad scope same?
I think, look, the construction industry, as in working for builders and doing new builds and new renovations and stuff, tend to be slow money.
Okay.
A lot of trades understand this, just because you may have to go back there 2 or 3 times to get that section completed, and then you can invoice for that section, as a progress payment, as you probably would have heard before.
Right. Yeah.
Your one-off clients are probably your best. Your residential clients, your sewer blockages or your water heater replacements, your tap washers, anything that you go on where you can use your merchant facility to get paid on the spot.
Right. Okay.
And then you've also got your property manager, your strata manager, where you're pretty much guaranteed your money. It's just that you've got to allocate the right funds to get your business through to you when you get that paid. It's just managing. I think that your builders in the volatile market can be a bit. Can be a bit stressful.
Slow, right.
Stressful, especially for a small business that don't have a large amount of cash flow.
Right.
The high turnover is what you want to get through with those builders, because like I said, they've got their own cash flow issues and they're managing you to sort their business out.
As well as other trades as well.
Absolutely. And the property market is detrimental for their business to run as well. So if that's low, then the builders are low, then so are you. So you've got a kind of
a domino effect.
Absolutely.
And so does that mean you've focused a little bit more on maintenance as opposed to new builds and renovation?
As I touched on before, we do service a lot, a broad, like the whole broad spectrum of plumbing. We do everything. But yes, we do try and focus on maintenance because that is better for us at the moment. Yeah. To support our team and to support our clients. So we have focused on maintenance, and it has shown, a lot, like our business model as it's turned into a surplus rather than being constantly trying to chase money. We're just trying to we're seeing the money grow. We're seeing the business run better, and I think it's a lot less stressful for me as director. So
and look, as a client of ours, we've seen your business grow from strength to strength. So congratulations on managing that and growing the business, which is fantastic. Obviously, one of the themes of Coffee with Confio is helping businesses grow, but managing their risk at the same time.
Absolutely, sure.
So what tips or recommendations do you have, especially for small businesses of all trades, because it's not just plumbing, of all trades, in dealing with cash flow a little bit more effectively?
Well, as you would know, I didn't come from a family of business owners, so it's everything that I've done was trial and error. I've been to some real lows and I've been to some real good parts of my business. The best is if you're starting up a business or you're a small business and you're having problems with cash flow, get a merchant facility. Get one in every car. Secondly, if it's over a certain, find out what that sweet spot is in your business. Where if a quote is over a certain amount of money, get a percentage of a deposit.
Okay.
So then you can cover your labour, cover your materials, and cover the on-road costs to get your business to that first progress payment.
Yeah.
It's those little bits and pieces there that will that you'll see that'll help your business heaps, and you'll be surprised at the clients. You might be a bit shy to ask for that, but I think that the right clients and the clients that you really want to work with will be more than happy to pay for your deposit, providing that you are going to go there and you're going to complete the works. I think that's the biggest point where people go, oh, we don't really want to ask for a deposit, but the right clients that you really want to work for and you want to support will be more than happy to help you and more than happy to support you to get to that job.
Yeah, and look, I can't see a problem with that really. Most other services that you undertake, you might have to pay a down payment, especially if it's a big payment.
Sure.
So I think that would work effectively. I think that's the great advice. So thank you.
No problem.
We can't let you get off the show without the Confio confession. It's something that nobody knows about you. What's your Confio confession?
My Confio confession, geez, you put me on the spot. I think it's probably actually, funnily enough, coming to World Plumbing Day, being a water being a massive part of my career. I was actually petrified of water up until I was 12 or 13. Could not get me in a pool, could not get me at the beach, could not get me in a bar.
Wow.
For some reason, I was absolutely petrified. Now it's just now it's my work. Now it's my job.
Swimming in it.
Now I'm literally getting soaked every day. Yeah, absolutely.
And you can swim?
I can swim now. Yes,
Yeah,
thankfully.
okay.
Thankfully, I can swim.
So no worries at work, which is good.
We're fine.
All right, Angelo, thank you so much for being on the show. We've
Thank
loved
you for
having
having
you. And thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions for both myself or Angelo, feel free to reach out on social media or email or in any way possible. We just want to provide some value to the business owners out there to make sure that you're growing your business whilst managing your risk. So feel free to reach out. Again, it's Will from Confio, and this is Coffee with Confio.
Thank you.